The Duchess and Guy, a rescued of royalty puppy love story. Written by Nancy Furstinger, illustrated by Julia Barasiartu. Once upon a time, a happy-go-lucky beagle named Guy found himself without a family or a place to call home. He blinked his puppy dog eyes and begged for someone to take him home, but he didn't have much luck. Until he spotted Megan and her pup, Bogart. From the tip of his nose down to his toes, Guy knew they would be a family. Guy couldn't believe how lucky he was to have found Megan, but Megan always told Guy she was the lucky one. One day, Megan met her own match when she fell in love with a British prince named Harry. Guy gave his paw of approval to Harry. He treated Megan like a princess Guy always knew she was. Soon Megan told Guy they were headed off to a new forever home in England. Did she say Buckingham Palace? Guy couldn't wait to prove that he was a regal beagle at heart. For his grand entrance, he showed off his new dog trick, take a bow. But the crown jewels the queen wore dazzled him, and he forgot which end should be up and which should be down. Guy tucked his head into his paws. He wasn't prim and proper like the royal family. He and Bogart used to stir up all kinds of mischief back home. As fun as their adventures were, Guy knew he would have to start behaving if he was going to fit in at the palace. Could Guy help Lupo round up the royal children? Guy tried to keep the successors in line, but instead he decorated the nursery with muddy paw prints. Could Guy run in a pack with the Queen's dorgies, Vulcan and Candy? Guy tried to perk his ears up and get low enough to parade with their pack, but Guy didn't like how the dorgies were always bossing the humans around. When is it my turn to be the leader? Could Guy join the Queen's Guard? Guy tried to act ferocious, but the bearskin cat made him sneeze. Must keep a stiff upper snout. Finally, Guy thought he'd found his place serving tea. He turned on his classic Southern charm, but his tail spun out of control. Kaboom! Crash! Smash! The Queen was not impressed. Guy's ears sagged, and the wag disappeared from his tail. Every pup needs a purpose, but Guy couldn't seem to find his. Even worse, Guy feared he had disappointed Megan. Before Guy could woof an apology, Megan gave him an encouraging scratch behind his ears. I wasn't sure if I'd fit in here either, Megan told her pup, but if you just be yourself, you'll be part of the family in no time. Guy gave Megan a big, sloppy beagle kiss. Guy held his tail high. He knew just how to impress his new family now. He would show them all of his and Bogart's old tricks. One day, Guy spotted the Queen outside the palace. The Queen still made Guy nervous, but when he locked eyes with her, he realized she had the same sad look that Guy got when he missed Bogart most. Before the Queen could turn away, Guy jumped into her car and sat beside her. The beagle waited for love before, and now he'd wait until the Queen was ready to let him heal that dog-shaped hole in her heart. Finally, Guy felt at home with his new family. He never dreamed that his life would turn out this way back when he was wandering homeless, trying to look like he belonged to someone. Without a doubt, Guy knew he was the luckiest dog in the world. You'll always be my best Guy. And together, they lived happily ever after. Guy's true rescue to royalty tale. A down-on-his-luck beagle was dumped anonymously in the after-hours kennel at the Montgomery County Animal Shelter in Mount Sterling, Kentucky. Most of the 48 kennels were filled with dogs, but this low-kill shelter works closely with rescue groups to avoid having to euthanize animals. Jerry Elliott, a volunteer at the time and currently the shelter coordinator, said that the dog was a typical beagle, a bag of wags and giggles. There are so many beagles in rural Kentucky, she added. They are like rain in the ocean. When no one adopted the beagle, he was selected to go to a rescue. However, the tricolored pooch tested positive for heartworm, a potentially fatal disease. A local vet treated the pup and sent him to a foster home to recover. Finally, the beagle was transported north, relay style, to a dog's dream rescue in Oakville, Ontario, Canada. This rescue specializes in connecting beagles, 1,600 at last count, with adopters. The 17-pound beagle was one of many homeless hounds at an adoption event held at Pet Valu, a Canadian pet store, in 2015. Meghan Markle was searching for a friend for her Labrador Shepherd mix. Bogart, also a rescue dog. Bogart had been adopted from a dog shelter in Los Angeles after Ellen DeGeneres convinced Meghan that the pooch was perfect for her. But the first beagle that Meghan had picked out didn't click with Bogart. Then Meghan spotted Guy. During a getting to know you walk, Bogart approved of Guy, and the two rescue dogs became inseparable companions. Bogart and Guy lived with Meghan in Toronto, where the actress starred on the TV series Suits. Meghan called Guy and Bogart her loves and her boys and said the pair meant the absolute world to her. After Meghan began a relationship with England's Prince Harry, Guy jetted off to London to join the Prince and Meghan, who had already charmed Queen Elizabeth's corgis. Sadly, Meghan's vet advised her to rehome Bogart with friends as he was deemed too old to make the journey overseas. Today, Guy is a treasured pet with his own title, Lord Guy of Success. The royal pooch even welcomed a new puppy brother into his family, a black lab named Oz. And that was The Duchess and Guy, a rescue to royalty puppy love story. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye, friends.